Hello coders, welcome to another How to Code Well Symfony tutorial. Today we're going to be demonstrating how to use optional parameters in Symfony routes. What I have here in the browser is a page which is /post. There's no other parameters supplied and the output is a JSON response with page number 1. If I was to put a / at the end of the URL and supply the parameter 2, we're going to get the JSON response page number 2. This means there is a default value that is being set if a parameter isn't supplied. I'll demonstrate that again. If we go to /post, the page number is automatically set to 1. If I go /post /1, it is still 1. If I change 1 to say 10, we get page number 10. So somehow Symfony is creating a default value for the page number if it isn't supplied. Let's go into the code and take a look at how that is done. In the GitHub repository, in tutorials tutorial_4, there is a post controller within the controller folder in SRC. The post controller class has this root index where the root is /post/ and then the parameter page. It has the name of app post and we're returning the JSON response page number with the variable of page. We can see that the parameter page is being supplied as an argument to the index method. It has a data type of an integer and it's defaulting to 1. This is the default value of that page parameter. If that doesn't make any sense, then don't worry, because what I'm going to do is delete everything and rebuild everything from scratch, and I'll talk about each one of these aspects as I go. The first thing I'm going to do is delete the post controller. In the terminal, I'm going to type .bin/console. I'm going to give the command make :controller, and we're going to call the controller post controller. Once I press enter, that's going to create the post controller class within the SRC controller folder. Here we have the default index method in the post controller. It's going to /post and the name is app_post. We also have this JSON response, which I'm going to change. I'm going to replace the message key in the JSON response with page number. We're also going to set the value of this array element as the variable page number. I'm also going to remove the path element of the array. We're going to supply the page number as a parameter of the root, and this is going to be an integer, and the argument is going to be called page number. Now at this stage, I'm not going to supply a default value just yet. What I need to do is supply the parameter to the root. So after /post, put in a / and then 2 curly braces. Within the curly braces, type page number. I would also like to set some requirements of the page number itself. And as before in a previous tutorial, we are going to create a requirements array. I'm going to put each of these root options on a separate line. And within the requirements array, we're going to have a key, which is the parameter. In this case, it is page number, with the array element value as the pattern, which is going to be \d+. In the terminal, type Symfony serve, and that will serve the website on the browser. And if you refresh the page of /post /10, we still get the page number 10 output as the JSON response. However, because we don't have a default value set for that parameter, if we removed the 10 and just have /post, we're going to get a 404. This is because we have the requirement set on this root. This root must have a digit as the parameter. And because we're not supplying the parameter, this root cannot be found. This is also the case if I was to type / and instead of putting in a digit, let's type in a string, for instance, the word test, and press enter. That's going to also give us a 404. However, if I was to replace the text with a number, say 3, and press enter, that's going to find the root because there is a digit as the parameter, and we have the JSON output page number 3. What we would like to do is have a default page number. So if I was to type in /post without a parameter, we want the first page of the posts to be displayed. So let's go back to the code and create a default value for the page number. What we need to do is supply a default value to this page number argument that's given to the index method. And we do that by typing equals and then the value that we wish to have as the default. In this case, we're going to supply 1 like so. Save the file and go back into the browser. If we refresh the page that is just /post without a parameter at the end, we're now going to find that root because we have the default parameter supplied. So even though we haven't supplied the parameter of 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, we are getting the first page. The page number is set to 1. This is pretty handy, right? We can now set our default parameters for these roots, which means that we don't have to explicitly say which parameters we need for the roots. We can get the first page of a list if we want to, and it's the same as how we would get the second page of a list. We just don't supply the parameter. If you found this tutorial helpful, then please let me know. Give it a thumbs up, share it around to those who might find it useful too. The full write-up for this tutorial and all the tutorials that I do will be on howtocodewell.net, so do take a look there. Also, consider subscribing to howtocodewell.net in order to get the next tutorials. I have a lot of tutorials that are scheduled up to go out every week, and if you want to get early access to those, please consider joining the YouTube membership or support the channel through Patreon. Thank you ever so much for watching. Happy coding, everybody, and I'll see you again in the next Symfony tutorial.